To racing, and there was a sensation at Moonee Valley this afternoon when the third event, the Noel Mason steeplechase, was declared a no race. Chief Steward Pat Lawler said the decision was made after the favoured Tippler's Oath was found lying on the track at the 1,000 metre mark after falling earlier in the race. All monies wagered on the steeple will be refunded.
A sharp checking at the top of this jump seemed to spark the calamity. Two horses, including the 4-to-1 favourite Tippler's Oath, fell heavily. Then another two missed the next jump, Narako shying, spectacularly catapulting his jockey Bill Harnett into the path of the oncoming field. He escaped unhurt, not so Tippler's Oath. The animal died on the track. Ambulancemen were on the scene in moments to treat the badly shaken jockeys. Pakenham-trained Tippler's Oath, a 5-year-old gelding, was a last start winner at Sandown.
To the multiple forms of betting from Moonee Valley, and the extra double paid $11.45 on 1 and 2. The daily double for 4 and 11 returned $57.05. The quadrella for the combination 2, 4, 5 and 8 paid $1,466.25, and the quad extra paid a handy $3,695.30 for picking 4, 5, 11 and 4. Meantime, in Brisbane, the feature race was the Castlemaine 10,000, with the popular pick being the Bart Cummings trained Shaftesbury Avenue. It proved to be a real charge to the line, with Prince Trialia holding off Planet Ruler.
Gladful swept up on the outside of Vic Edgebar and ran to the front. Comrades getting a beautiful run on the inside. Festal now pulled out. Heads of State still there, and Gypsy Rogue on the extreme outside. Prince of Trialia trying to burst through. Now he gets the split, and Prince of Trialia's gone to them. Look at Planet Ruler. Planet Ruler flying on the inside. Prince Trialia in front. Planet Ruler can't catch him. Prince Trialia won the 10,000 and beat Planet Ruler. Third boasting.
Prince Trialia bullied to the front and kept out Planet Ruler by 3/4 of a length, giving the bookies and the trifecta winners a super result. To gymnastics now, and Western Australia last night consolidated competitors.
To racing of a somewhat different kind, and the Group 1 Goodwood Handicap at Adelaide's Morphettville racetrack today was won by the local galloper Beau George, starting at 5-1, ridden by Greg Hall and trained by David Belfer. The former top filly Kortzer was the warm favourite at 7-4. She finished out of a place. And in Brisbane, the Castlemaine 10,000 was taken by the outsider Prince Trialia. First, the Goodwood.
Crusher stolen a break at the 200. He's a couple clear. Beau George is now starting to motor. Here comes Beau George with Dancer's Choice, Plush Embassy and Crush. Beau George has run right over the top of them. He's hanging in, but he'll win. Beau George by George has won the Goodwood.
Prince of Trialia trying to burst through. Now he gets the split, and Prince of Trialia's gone to them. Look at Planet Ruler. Planet Ruler flying on the inside. Prince Trialia in front. Planet Ruler can't catch him. Prince Trialia won the 10,000 and beat Planet Ruler.
And today's steeplechase at Moonee Valley was declared a no race when 3 horses ran off and 4 fell in an incident near the 1,000-metre double. It was the first no race in Melbourne for 9 years.
Tippler's Oath, the 4-to-1 favourite, had fallen in the first circuit and lay on the track between jumps as the field approached on the second time round. The riders were instructed to go wide by track staff, and as the outside wing at the next fence had been shifted in across the fence, they were uncertain whether to jump it or not. As a result, 3 horses ran off, and Narako and Cromarty Kate came to grief. Stewards had no option but to declare the event a no race. Daryl Cannon, who fell from Tippler's Oath, was taken to hospital for observation. All other jockeys escaped injury.
Well, to the double races at the Valley now, and Western Sovereign again showed his liking for the course with a strong finish.
He's laying down the gauntlet, hits the front at the top of the straight. Prismatic Star first for home from Street Ruffian, and then Tight Ruler and Western Sovereign. Prismatic Star is in front. Western Sovereign picks him up quickly. Western Sovereign puts his nose in front and beat Prismatic Star by a neck. A length. Tight Ruler third.
Western Sovereign backed in from 9-2 into 7-2. Got the money from Prismatic Star and Tight Ruler. Second leg.
Flyaway went to the lead. Taffeta Bow out very wide. Golden Lining striking less, fighting back. Acquittal and Zimno Fear out wide. Golden Lining put ahead in front of Taffeta Bow. Zimno Fear finishing well. Gold Hat in the centre of it. Golden Lining adverted clear, and Golden Lining's got the money. Wins it by about a length. St Clements might have got second in a close photo with Zimno Fear and Gold Hat.
So it was Golden Lining taking the money, ridden by Danny Adam. They put the blinkers back on today, and she scored drawing away at 8-1. St Clemens, a bit unlucky. She was held up coming to the home turn, second at 7s, and Zim No Fear wide out got third, also starting at 7-1. Now the daily double at Moonee Valley today, 4 Western Sovereign and 11 Golden Lining paid $57.05. The extra 1 Sharp As and 2 Knights returned $11.45. Quadrata 2, 4, 5 and 8, $1,466.25, and the quad extra today 4, 5, 11 and 4, $3,695.30. And that's all in sport tonight. Thanks, sir.
Greg, thank you. That was a bad fall at Moonee Valley.
Yes, very unfortunate, that incident. But
could have been really nasty.
Yeah.
OK, Greg, thanks very much.
Seeing the highlights in Brisbane yesterday and also in Adelaide, both well and truly into their carnivals. It was a great day of racing in Brisbane. Outsiders continue to win the major events. We had Gypsy Rogue a little earlier on, in fact, 2 weeks ago, and last week Noble Clubs winning, both at big prices. Yesterday, it was another 20-1 pop who won the maiden race, the $400,000 Castlemaine. Another excellent race with Stylish Century winning over 1,600 metres in the Doomben Classic. We had the Chairman's, the build-up to the Brisbane Cup. So it was a great day of racing. Let's go and have a look at the highlights from Brisbane yesterday.
Champagne with the Stars Thursday morning had most of the experts scratching their heads about this race. The weather was looking to play a hand, and that made locating the winner of the $400,000 sprint even tougher. But yesterday the grey skies had disappeared, the Bart Cummings trained Shaftesbury Avenue was installed as favourite, and Queensland punters wagered thousands on the local hopes for Gedjabar and Planet Ruler. As expected, Vic Gedjabar led. The challenges, though, would come thick and fast.
Straight 350 metres to go. Gladful swept up on the outside of Vic Gedjabar and ran to the front. Comrades getting a beautiful run on the inside. Festal now pulled out. Heads of State still there, and Gypsy Rogue on the extreme outside. Prince of Trialia trying to burst through. Now he gets the split, and Prince of Trialia's gone to them. Look at Planet Ruler. Planet Ruler flying on the inside. Prince Trialia in front. Planet Ruler can't catch him. Prince Trialia won the 10,000 and beat Planet Ruler.
And if ever there was an example of that old adage, never look a gift horse in the mouth, this was it. Prince Trialia couldn't even attract the $500 bid at yearling sales. Yesterday he won $250,000.
I think he tried to flog it around to everybody, and nobody wanted him. And he saw Jack unseen. He said, I'm going to send it out to your trainer. And of course, when he went out there, my trainer went berserk. He said, Jack, what have you got here? You've got a bloody donkey. And of course, we hadn't won until today. We hadn't won a big race like this. We've won a lot of smaller races, but we knew we were up there close to it, you know, and now he's won over 400,000, and I'd have to say he's a champion.
And for jockey Stephen Schofield, a man who's had more than his share of racing bad luck, this was a moment to savour.
You know, an ounce of luck is worth a ton of judgment, you know, like he's a good horse when things goes his way, and fortunately enough, Lady Luck was on his side today.
Earlier, the local fans were given plenty to cheer about as 3-year-old superstar Stylish Century displayed all his customary courage to win the Doomben Classic.
Up on the rails, he's flat out now on Stylish Century. He's kicking on the outside. Rough Habit driving at him, then a little kiss. Stylish Century's not going to give in without a fight. Rough Habit coming at him the last little bit. They hit it. Stylish Century, I think, by a nose.
And it's no wonder Stylish Century holds a special place in the heart of owner Dick Monaghan. He has career stake earnings of over $1.9 million.
When you've owned them as many years as I have and had no success whatsoever, and then a get like this, it really is, that's what racing's all about. It's a fairy tale situation. A little family pet that made good, basically, and we love him.
And while Stylish Century was the star early, it was jockey Mick Didman who won all the late accolades. Watch his power as he drives Kiwi galloper Sonova home in the Chairman's Handicap.
Sonova's a big danger on the outside. Red Chiffon can't get a crack at them. Our Pellas are charging home late. Now Didman takes the Kiwi to the lead. Sonova, our Pellas are coming after him and coming hard. It's Sonova just in front. Our Pellas are lunging. No, he can't get there.
So, terrific day at Doomben. I doubt whether Sonova will go on and win the Brisbane Cup. He won the Chairman's yesterday, but Stylish Century just winning that 1,600-metre race, and his upcoming clash with Dr. Grace in the Queensland Derby will be a highlight of winter racing in Brisbane. Well, there's a big carnival in Adelaide going on at the moment too. It was a very big day yesterday. They've got the Adelaide Cup coming up tomorrow, a race worth $275,000, but yesterday, 2 Group 1 races, South Australian Oaks, and even more importantly, the Goodwood Handicap. This is the big sprint in South Australia, and it was also a battler, a trainer, David Balfour, who provided the winner, a real specialist called Beau George.
Adelaideans had 3 big races on their mind at a cold Morfettville yesterday. The first was the Sires Produce Stakes over 1,600 metres. The punters, like crack Victorian Colt Tressette, but a super ride from Gary Murphy on Abandoned War saw him steal the prize.
Further back in the field, a real tip, but Abandoned War may well have pinched it. Durbridge is the only danger for the moment. Durbridge after Abandoned War, but this has stolen it, I think. Abandoned War pulling out plenty, getting very tired, but Abandoned War, what a dashing ride by Gary Murphy. Wins by 2. Second Durbridge, 3 away to Tressette.
The feature race was the Goodwood Handicap. A crackerjack field lined up for the 1200 distance. Courtser with Shane Dye on board went out the heavily backed favourite. But there was something alluring about a horse called Beau George.
Clear, but Crusher's stolen a break at the 200. He's a couple clear. Beau George is now starting to motor. Here comes Beau George with Dancer's Choice, Plush Embassy and Crush. Beau George has run right over the top of them. He's hanging in, but he'll win. Beau George by George has won the Goodwood. Second placing, I think, Crush from Dancer's Choice.
A sensational victory, and the race couldn't have gone to a nicer bloke. Local trainer David Balfour had waited a long time for yesterday. In 23 years of riding and more recently training, this was his first Group 1 success, and all with a horse that cost a mere $3,500.
He's a very good horse. He's very underestimated as far as I'm concerned. You know, he puts in and he tries, and I thought it was a top ride by Greg Hall.
And there were a few fluttering hearts in the crowd. Beau George was 4th last on the turn.
Funny thing, I was never concerned, even though he's so far back, because I was saving a lot of ground on the turn. And then when I did get a clear run coming out in the straights, as strange as it may seem, I knew I had the race 1-200 out, and they were probably still 3 or 4 lengths in front of me.
The final feature race was the SA Oaks, and it was another last to first run, this time by favourite Gamine.
Gamine is laying down the gauntlet to Star Worship. She's got her. Gamine raced up to Star Worship, took the lead. Yangery and Super Trend battle away for the minors, but Gamine takes the Oaks. Gamine picks up the Group 1 SA Oaks from, in second placing, Star Worship, 3rd Super Trend. They were followed.
The Racing Carnival finishes here in South Australia tomorrow with the running of the Adelaide Cup. Peter Overton reporting for Sports World.
So some great racing there in Adelaide as well as in Brisbane. $3,500 Beau George cost. Prince Tralia cost $500, and they're winning the big money at the moment. So you don't have to pay $1 million to get a winner in racing. On a sad note, in Melbourne yesterday, there was a sensation at Moonee Valley when the 3rd event, the Noel Mason Steeplechase, was declared a no race. Now, it's the first time in Melbourne since 1981 they've had a no race. You've got to go back 10 years since this has happened. The Chief Steward, Pat Lawler, said the decision was made after the favoured horse, Tippler's Oath, was found lying on the track at the 1,000 metre mark after falling during the first round of the race. Now, all monies wagered on the steeplechase were refunded to the people that had a bet, and the horse that actually finished first past the post, I should say, Chief Lone Smoke, the Connections did receive the $19,000 in prize money. Let's have a look now at what happened at Moonee Valley yesterday.
A sharp checking at the top of this jump seemed to spark the calamity. 2 horses, including the 4-to-1 favourite Tippler's Oath, fell heavily. Then another 2 missed the next jump, Narako shying, spectacularly catapulting his jockey Bill Harnett into the path of the oncoming field. He escaped unhurt, not so Tippler's Oath. The animal died on the track. Ambulancemen were on the scene in moments to treat the badly shaken jockeys. Pakenham-trained Tippler's Oath, a 5-year-old gelding, was a last start winner at Sandown.
So terrible luck there to the Connections of Tippler's Oath and a no race at Moonee Valley. Well, I mentioned a few minutes ago that the Preakness Stakes was run in America this morning. This is the second leg of the Triple Crown. The Triple Crown is for 3-year-olds in the United States. It's very tough to win. The first leg is the Kentucky Derby, second leg the Preakness Stakes, and the third leg is the Belmont Stakes. That's run in June, on June the 8th. Now, the last horse to win the Triple Crown was a horse called Affirmed back in 1978. There's only been 4 horses that have won this Triple Crown since '48, so it's a tough one to win. Unbridled was going for the Triple Crown today. He'd won the Kentucky Derby. He was hoping to make it 2/3 of the way by winning the Preakness Stakes. But he was upset by another top horse called Summer Squall. This horse had run second in the Kentucky Derby, and just on the eve of the Preakness, yesterday in fact, he'd suffered a bleeding attack in the United States, and I wasn't sure whether he would run or not. Let's go to the Preakness. It was run this morning at Pimlico. Big race, and here's the closing stages of the Classic.
9 horses started today's race at Pimlico in Baltimore for the 115th running of the Preakness. Early on, Fighting Notion, a 30-to-1 long shot, had the lead. But that all changed as they came off of the final turn on the inside. Summer Squall, with Pat Day aboard, began to make a move, as did number 6, Unbridled, the Kentucky Derby winner, ridden by Craig Perrette. It looked like a two-horse race, but Summer Squall on the inside began to pull away. Down the stretch, just too strong. Summer Squall wins today's Preakness with a time of 1:53.3, the second fastest time ever. Unbridled came in second, while Mr. Frisky finished in third.
Pat Day, the winning jockey, still to win a Kentucky Derby. He's been second in the last 3 years, but he can win a Preakness Stakes. The horse earned $585,000 for the victory. So they're now on to the Belmont on June the 8th. After the break, we'll be looking at a motorsport. Big wrap-up of that all around the world on Sports World.
But you cracked me up. I can just imagine.
Right. Tell you what, I'm on fire tonight.
You are a sick man.
You wouldn't give this to a kid, really, would you?
Very good choice, Mum.
What are you laughing at?
What's the trick about that?
Oh, brilliant.
What?
That's what it says.
Tonight Live with Steve Weiser. Turning on.
Kouros is on schedule to win his 5th Westfield Sydney-Melbourne Marathon at 10 o'clock tomorrow night. As Nick McCallum reports, the Flying Greek had an eventful day on the road in East Gippsland.
Early this morning, Cliff Young joined Yanis Kouros for motivation. Yanis finds it hard to understand any English, let alone Cliffy's English. But Cliff did inspire the Golden Greek to treat himself at Lakes Entrance after only 2 hours rest in 3 days. Kouros is 20 kilometres the Melbourne side of Bairnsdale, 55 kilometres ahead of a spirited battle for second. Brian Smith of Victoria left Lakes Entrance a short time ago with newfound vigour after passing American Brian Purcell at 4:30 this afternoon. Only 2 kilometres separate the two runners. But the real surprise packet, Sydney's Georgina McConnell. In an inspired burst late yesterday, she climbed from 28th to 15th. And is now challenging women's section leader Sandra Barwick. Nick McCallum for the 10 Evening News.
A Sydney syndicate has launched a bid aimed at bringing the America's Cup back to Australia. It's headed up by veteran ocean racer Sid Fisher and is said to incorporate a secret weapon as radical as Ben Lexon's controversial winged keel.
One bonus from all the legal wrangling between Dennis Conner and the Kiwis is that the 1992 Cup match in San Diego will be sailed in an exciting new class of yacht. Today, veteran ocean racing yachtsman Sid Fisher, who heads the Sydney-based syndicate, and his chief designer, Dr. Peter Van Oosenen, unveiled a near half-size racing model of their eventual Cup Challenger, a yacht which will be used for design and sail evaluation as well as crew training. This yacht is only 9.5 metres long. The actual Cup yacht, which will be launched next May, will be more than 20 metres long and carry a 16-man crew. Dr. Van Oosenen was the designer who worked with Ben Lexon on the now legendary wing keel for Australia too.
We're working on something, I would say, that's looking very good.
Where?
In the towing tank at the moment, but let's not go any further with respect to questions, Rob. I think that's appropriate.
Two of the key players in the 1983 victory, Hugh Trahan and Colin Beashel, were aboard the yacht today. They've signed up with Fisher Syndicate for this challenge. Rob Mundell for the 10 Evening News.